What's up, interwebs? This is Millerhood Sports. I am Nick. This is Rich, and this is Mike. Hey, y'all. What's up?
Whoa.
Hey, y'all.
NFL
y'all.
free agency blew up last week.
Yep.
We didn't talk about it, but
Lots of moves.
there were
Sports.
lots and lots of moves.
Sports.
So, do you want to just get into them, Richard?
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, let's go, Nick. Dive into the NFL free agency. Do you know what free agency is?
Sports.
I don't think you know.
It's when a player's contract is up and he can seek employment elsewhere.
Sports.
There you go.
Well, let's go with the big move, guys.
The big move.
That's right.
The big story.
The big move.
I said I was tired of talking about it, and he finally did what he said he was going to do.
Michael,
He left.
what did you do?
I did it.
You did
I
it?
did the moves.
What moves did you do?
I made moves. He has no moves.
You have no moves?
There are no moves.
There are no
Not even
moves.
fam.
You're not fam anymore.
Tom Brady has decided to leave New England and go
Can we
to
get
Tampa
a moment
Bay.
of silence
Yes, I would like a moment of silence.
for all the New Englanders?
No, we need to have like a intervention for New England fans. I mean, this has been a bad couple of months for them. First, the Dolphins go to Foxborough and beat them. For the first time in 2 years, they lost
Beat
in
their
Foxborough.
homies.
No, not 2 years, like 3 or 4 years. First time they lost a home game in 3 or 4 years, and they lost to an XFL team wearing Miami Dolphins uniforms. Okay, then they host a playoff game. Okay, and they lose to Ryan Tannehill, who is a
former
Miami Dolphin wearing a Tennessee Titan uniform. Okay, so then now we get to the offseason, and all of a sudden, Tom Brady, God's gift to everybody north of New York, Tom Brady is no longer a New England Patriot.
Also, on that subject, Mookie Betts also just got traded.
Yeah. Ooh,
So,
that stings.
it does.
I
So
mean,
how do you feel about the Brady thing? Are you still a Patriots fan? Or are you following Brady
I'm a Patriots
to
fan.
the Buccaneers?
I'm a Patriots fan.
are you a
till
Bucks
death.
fan now
You a
too?
Bucks fan now,
No,
though?
I'm not. I will root for Tom Brady to do well because I think he will do well.
But you won't root for the Bucks?
But if the Bucks do well, then the Brady does well. I guess. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I want to root for Tom Brady, and you know what? If the Patriots end up going to the Super Bowl against the Bucks in their home stadium,
That's so ridiculous.
then hey, cool for me.
You know,
That's so
even
funny.
I know that's stupid.
It's so funny that you watch. We're gonna be here next year talking about how.
What's next? Richard's
Patriots-
saying the Dolphins are going to go to the Super Bowl?
Hey, I mean, I'm not saying they are, but I mean the Dolphins got a shot at
That's how
really
you
making
sound like.
some noise.
That's what you sound like right now. You sound
I'm
like
just
him.
saying, how cool would it be to see the Patriots go to Tampa Bay because Tampa Bay is hosting the Super Bowl, so Tampa Bay could get into the Super Bowl this year and be the first team ever to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium of going against the Patriots. That
The
would
only
be
two people
pretty
on
cool.
this planet that think that would be great are Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. And that's it. And that's just so they could have a showdown and prove once and for all who's the best. Okay?
And that would be great. That would be awesome. That's the thing movies are made of, okay? You could make a movie about that story.
I don't.
Like it's a
bad
story
one.
about how Brady and Belichick were this pairing and they 20 years
No.
and then
like
they
a
go.
Sundance
They're on
film.
different teams now, and they finally
It's a
go to the
terrible
season.
movie.
It's like
That's
an
a
up and down season, and then they finally get to the Super Bowl, and
No.
it's Tom Brady against Bill Belichick
No,
in the
it's a
Super Bowl.
It's a stupid
That's
movie.
an awesome story.
That's a terrible
Someone
story.
Still a better love story than Twilight.
You're just going to say
He brought it
that
up again.
all the time, no matter what
right.
podcast we're doing.
That's right.
He's going to say it.
Yep.
Tom Brady to the Buccaneers, and this is just my theory. I think it's purely for logistical reasons. One, his company is TB12. All right? So if he keeps the number 12 and he goes to Tampa Bay, it just makes all of his stationery that much easier. He can put TB12 on everything. TB Tom Brady, TB Tampa Bay. Okay, if they do win a Super Bowl, I hear they're actually going to officially name the city, change the name of the city to Tampa Bay for Tom. So
Did that sound funnier in your head?
No, I saw it on a
think it
message
did.
board. I saw it on a
You
message
should have
board.
left it on the message board.
I should have left it there, but I thought it was worth bringing up.
Well,
It wasn't.
Also, they don't call them message boards anymore, do they?
No.
I'm not feeling good at all, okay? The Patriots' big move in friggin' free agency, besides re-signing the Twins, is picking up Brian Hoyer, which
Twins?
Devin McCourty and Jason McCourty.
Oh.
Sports.
They picked up Brian Hoyer, okay?
Hoya the Destroyer.
I mean, he's a veteran quarterback, and if they have faith in Jarrett Stidham and that's their future quarterback, you're going to want a veteran presence. But
It makes sense, though.
it makes sense.
It makes sense because they just lost a quarterback whose last game in the regular season, he lost to the Dolphins. And now they signed Brian Hoyer, who I believe his last start last year was a loss to the Miami Dolphins.
That's the new quarterback.
If not, I don't know whether it was his last start, but it's definitely one of his starts, and he lost to the Miami Dolphins. So it seems to be keeping with a trend the Patriots have started that is losing to the Miami
I'm
Dolphins.
fairly certain Brissett started that game.
I thought
No,
the Patriots,
Brian Hoyer did because Brissett was injured.
I thought the
He got
Patriots.
injured.
Anything
Yeah.
else? Nope. I'm sorry, you're wrong.
I thought the Patriots were getting Janine Garoppolo.
He might be right. No, they wanted Jimmy Garoppolo.
Oh, that's the one.
Jimmy Garoppolo. They wanted Jimmy Garoppolo.
Those are
But,
similar.
but the 49ers said, no, Jimmy's ours.
Huh. You should get Janine Garoppolo then.
Janine Garoppolo's his mom.
It's Mrs. Garoppolo to you.
All right, I'm
So Tom Brady, TB12 goes to TB,
Tampa Bay.
where
yes.
everybody's out of TP.
Oh, they just got Tom Brady. They're good.
Tom Brady.
Oh gosh.
Tom Brady. You know what's up? Never mind.
Well, I'm going to go on to another move that happened. I think it's the worst move. I don't know about you, but
Not technically free agency. It's more of a trade.
yeah, it happened during free agency though.
It did. Go. Shoot. Tell us what happened, Nick.
DeAndre Hopkins, Bill O'Brien, his smart genius self,
Bill
traded
O'Brien?
DeAndre Hopkins, a generational
Car
receiver.
dealership?
No, Michael.
Bill O'Brien traded DeAndre Hopkins
Yeah.
for David Johnson and like a second round pick and a fourth round pick.
No, he traded DeAndre Hopkins and a fourth round pick for David Johnson and a second round pick. Even though they still currently have Duke Johnson. So maybe he just wanted Johnson and Johnson to be his running backs. And they still could technically re-sign Lamar Miller, giving them 3 pretty good running backs. And then DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Cardinals, which is just their offense is going to be insane next year.
Considering they just re-signed Larry Fitzgerald to a 1-year deal, yeah, and they
They kept Kenyon Drake. He
Yep.
signed his transition tag.
Yep. And
So-
they could draft an O-lineman in the draft.
Yeah, and they'll be pretty good, man.
I mean,
they're doing good. So
It's great.
the thing is, Bill O'Brien's making moves, man. He's just making moves. Last year, he traded 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick for Laramie Tunsil and a receiver that was going to get cut by the Dolphins anyways. So
I also know these things.
good for him.
he's making moves.
Sports.
Doesn't mean they're good.
Yeah,
So-
I know. You know, Bill O'Brien, you know what he's from. See, in sports, Michael, they have what's called a coaching tree. All right. So if there's a head coach who's pretty good and somebody is one of his assistants, sometimes they'll get hired on as a head coach elsewhere because people believe he's learned from that main head coach. Bill O'Brien, what head coaching tree do you think he's fallen from?
Well, seeing as you're telling me, I'm assuming it's the Dolphins.
Nope, Bill Belichick. He is one of Bill Belichick's acolytes,
Oh.
and if you think of it that way, it makes a little bit of sense. All the ridiculous moves he's been making.
Makes no sense.
Maybe he's actually like undercover as still on payroll for the Patriots, because that is the only way trading DeAndre Hopkins makes any sense whatsoever. And then DeAndre Hopkins says that Bill O'Brien actually brought up Aaron Hernandez in a conversation with him. Said the last time I had to do this was with Aaron Hernandez. But I mean, like you know, the guy that killed a dude.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're not the only Texas team to do something, though. Dak Prescott just got his franchise tagged. I don't know if he's going to sign it.
He's not going to sign it.
I don't think he should.
Who cares? Franchise tag doesn't mean that. He's not going to play on a franchise tag.
No way.
He's not going to sign it. Why would he? Why should he?
Of course not.
Sit out a year. He'll get $40 million next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if he gets injured on a franchise tag, that's it. Shut the faucets off. Go get a real job, Dak. I mean, he'll probably never have to get a real job, but I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Nope, I don't.
Oh. So a franchise tag is where your contract's up. And instead of letting you go into the market as a free agent, the team can say, nope, we're going to keep him. And they have to pay him an average of the highest salaries at that position. So if he stays in Dallas this year under the franchise tag, he'll make $33 million, which not bad. Better than a poke in the eye, right? But the caveat is it's a 1-year deal, and they can do it again to him next year. So the reason players don't like it is because there's no security. If he gets injured, that's it. He's not going to get a big contract from anybody because he'll have the injury on his record. Nobody's going to sign him.
And $33 million.
Yeah, it's not. Look, it's not a real world problem. You know what I mean? It's not a real world problem. This is like fake fantasy land problems. Oh, you know what I mean? It's like, so my choices make $33 million or make $100 million. I mean, 100's more, but it's not like I'm dead if I've only got $33 million.
Could turn $33 million into 100.
Does he get paid that if he doesn't sign it, or
No, if he doesn't sign it, then he's basically holding out, and he'll miss a whole season.
no? Because Jerry Jones will probably sign him.
They should.
Yeah.
They don't have any better options than him.
Unless they're
Unless
they're planning on trying to move up in the draft or something.
I think they should just sign him. It's kind of crazy that they haven't.
Yeah.
But
I think they re-signed Amari Cooper.
I don't think Dak Prescott is on the same level as guys like Carson Wentz and things like that.
No.
His numbers say he is, but he's not the same type of talent that those guys are. He's not up there with Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz. He's not. He's Kirk Cousins with a little bit better ball management.
I mean, Carson Wentz got a Super Bowl ring. He didn't have to play in the game.
Yeah, but I mean, he was having an MVP caliber season before he got injured. So
Yeah.
as fun as that is for you to say, Nick, it's not realistic.
Well, another quarterback that got signed was Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater got signed by the Carolina Panthers.
Yep. Even though Cam Newton is still on the team. Oh, also,
Former MVP Cam Newton, Michael. MVP of the league. And they're just like, no, we'll move on from you.
also on that subject, our first XFL signing, because they don't need they need more quarterbacks for some reason. They signed PJ Walker.
They signed PJ Walker?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So Cam Newton's probably going to get released and go somewhere.
PJ Walker was the starting quarterback for the Houston Roughnecks, Michael.
Ah. And he signed with who?
Carolina Panthers.
Oh. So the XFL is not going to have that guy anymore.
No. He's going to make quite a bit more money in the NFL.
Well, that's good. So the XFL is now the minor leagues of football.
It was always the minor leagues of football. It was
pretty good while it lasted.
It's not over. They're coming back for 2021.
I hope so.
They're going to do the whole thing. They should have a video game. That's all I'm saying. Make a game.
2K's making a football game.
2K's making 2K's making NFL games, but they're making arcade-style NFL games, which I hate. Like, Madden's already an arcade-style NFL game. Why don't they let 2K make simulation-style NFL games And Madden can do what Madden does best, and that's arcade garbage football. If you want an actual game that's going to simulate football, then why don't you let 2K do it? And you can just do your microtransaction-filled games that people will pay for, and you can leave actual simulation football fans alone with your dark, evil ways.
Phillip Rivers got picked up by the Colts,
Yes, he did.
which okay.
Like the whole team picked him up.
Phillip Rivers is a good quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, he had a pretty bad year. You know what I mean?
He
Everyone
had
thought he
no
was.
offensive line, which isn't going to be a problem in Indianapolis. They have a good line.
Yeah. And Nick Foles was on the Jaguars. He got traded to the Bears.
To the Bears.
because
like,
Mitchell Trubisky's not a good quarterback.
Bears.
The Bears. I don't understand that move more than any other one. Like, if you wanted somebody to come in to challenge Mitchell Trubisky, I don't know. To me, you should have. Cam Newton seems like the move the Bears should have made.
Yeah.
They should have gone for Cam Newton.
Who do you think signs Cam? I mean, he's gonna get released.
They're going to release him. I don't know who signs him, to be totally honest with you. I just don't know.
Dolphins.
I would love to see the Bengals do it because it would be a good move for the Bengals because, number one, they're not interested in winning anyways. Okay? So drafting Joe Burrow just doesn't make sense. Two, that means they could take Chase Young, which would just take everybody off and make me so happy. Okay, if they took Chase Young,
Do you think Redskins take Burrow then?
I think they would take Burrow. Yeah, there was a chance they would take Tua even, but even if they don't take Burrow, if Burrow's available at 2, somebody's gonna give up the farm for him. You know what I mean?
I'm saying if Redskins draft a quarterback, does that mean they get rid of Haskins?
Hold on, let me finish my
Okay,
Cam
I'll let
Newton
you
train
finish
here first, okay? Which, speaking of that, Ron Rivera already said no, we're not interested in Cam. So, yeah,
That's messed up,
Ron
man.
Rivera was Cam Newton's head coach in Carolina till he was summarily dismissed this past year when Cam Newton got injured. The Bengals took Cam Newton, they would sell a ton of tickets, okay? He would bring them hope. And it would be misplaced hope, admittedly, and it would all go down in a blaze of glory, okay? But Cam Newton could ride out 2 or 3 years there, probably retire after that, and then the Bengals can just keep pushing their future further down the road, all right? So I would love to see him go to the Bengals for those reasons. Also, I don't know, if Cam Newton comes back and he's really good, he could make that team pretty competitive. They've got some pieces in place already, and if they go into this draft without having to draft a quarterback, they can trade the farm. Like, they can just get such a good deal from somebody for that first pick, for somebody that wants to move up and take Joe Burrow. Like, even if Miami gave them their first and their last pick in the first round, plus some other picks, it'd be such a good move for Cincinnati to do that. I wouldn't want Miami to, because I want them to keep stocking up on stuff, but I'm not in charge of them. You know what I mean? I've called. They're not interested in my services. Whatever. I have absolutely no experience or track record or even a modicum of expertise, but still, right?
Right.
Sports.
No one's going to accuse you of having a record on a track.
Anyways, I don't know where he's going to end up. Cincinnati's a good place, though. I don't know. I mean, we all know Andy Dalton's going to be the next quarterback in New England, so.
Do you think the Redskins get rid of Dwayne Haskins?
Get rid of him? No. I think it would be competition. You got to remember, the year that the Redskins drafted RG3, they also drafted Kirk Cousins. That's the same organization, so they've got a track record of kind of trying things out at quarterback. You know what I mean? Ron Rivera's there. He's not attached to Dwayne Haskins. And my understanding is that the owner has kind of let the reins up a little bit and given more control to Ron Rivera than he has previous regimes that have been there. So if Rivera's there and he doesn't like Dwayne Haskins, it's not a slam dunk. They give him another year to see what he's got. Bringing somebody in there to legitimately compete with him would probably be good, because even his coach in college, Urban Meyer, said he's not ready for the NFL. So We'll go from there.
Right. The Bears also signed Jimmy Graham to a 2-year deal. So whoever, I think good tight end to throw
I mean,
to.
it takes him from the Green Bay, I guess. I don't know. He's getting up there though, man.
Yeah.
He's no spring chicken, Michael. He's no spring chicken.
Jason Witten also signed on the team.
Yeah, speaking of old tight ends, Jason Witten signed to the Raiders. As an non-sports fan, that made you chuckle, did it, Michael?
You said old tight end.
I did.
The Dolphins and the Lions are having a competition of who can sign the most veteran Patriot players.
Let's dial that back a little bit. There is a major difference between what the Dolphins are doing and what the Lions are doing.
Is there?
Yeah, the Lions are overpaying for anybody that ever played on the Patriots.
And the Dolphins suck. So.
And really, you're comparing them to the Lions? Sorry.
I mean, they're kind of two sides of the same coin.
The Lions picked before the Dolphins because with their roster full of people and a franchise quarterback in Matthew Stafford. Yeah, well,
Listen,
good point. But
we've all heard Will Ferrell's spiel about Lions.
they were
Dolphins.
horrible. That was
The other guys.
was it Dolphins?
Yeah, it was Dolphins.
I don't think it was Dolphins.
What was that?
It was Lions.
It
I know
was tuna.
Tuna. It was the
Tuna.
tuna. It was the tuna.
Oh, whatever. Dolphins, tuna. It's all the same thing.
Anyways. Tuna of the sea.
Tuna of the sea.
Anyways.
Dolphins are the people of the sea.
The Dolphins are the people of the sea. Anyways, the Lions, okay. The Lions are just overpaying people left and right. They overpaid Trey Flowers, okay.
Right.
Who did they just sign now?
I think they signed Landon Roberts.
No, the Dolphins signed a Landon Roberts.
Oh, the Lions?
They signed a Landon.
Jaron Harmon or Jamie Collins?
Jamie Collins. There it is.
Yeah.
Jamie Collins, who when he left the Patriots last time did absolutely nothing in Cleveland, right? And then he got back to the Patriots in the right system and was utilized properly. Who have the Dolphins signed? They signed a guy off of the practice squad, Eric Rowe.
Right.
Okay, that's a guy that Flores saw something in that wasn't getting any play in New England because their secondary was stacked with the McCourty brothers and Stephon Gilmore and Patrick Chung. He's not going to get playtime on a team that's stacked. So they signed Eric Rowe, and last year he really came into his own and became a really good player and is the man that caught Tom Brady's last throw in the regular season. He did it as a Dolphin, intercepting the ball for a pick six.
What, did Brady think he was still on his team?
I don't know. Brady might have. But so they signed Eric Rowe last year. This year, they picked up Kyle Van Noy, but it's a move that totally makes sense.
Noise.
Okay? And people can say they overpaid Kyle Van Noy, but I don't think they overpaid him for one thing.
He's a great player.
For two, he instantly comes in and is able to be the enforcer of Brian Flores' culture for whoever else is brought in on the team.
Right.
Okay? So, I mean, they're not overpaying dudes from New England. They are signing guys that played on New England, which they took Ted Karras, okay? But they gave Ted Karras a reasonable contract, all right? And Ted Karras is would have been the second string center in New England.
Right.
Okay, but now he's going to be the starting center in Miami. He actually took less money to come and play Miami because he wanted to start. So it's a totally different thing than overpaying dudes just because you know them. Matt Patricia versus Brian Flores, they're not even in the same conversation as far as head coaches go. Brian Flores took a dumpster fire of a team and then set that dumpster on even more fire and won 2 less games than the previous guy before him. Adam Gase, with a full roster, with all of those players the Dolphins let go of, won 2 more games than Brian Flores did. Give me a break, man. And then you take Matt Patricia, who took a perennial knocking on the door playoff team. Yeah. They were 9-7, okay, when the Lions said, "Oh, that's not good enough. What's the guy's name? Jim Caldwell. That's not good enough, Jim Caldwell. Get out of here. And then Matt Patricia comes in, and he just proceeds to destroy everything. Okay? Darius Slay says the guy talked to him like he was a dog, basically.
Oh, and they traded him out when they're...
Well, yeah, because, I mean, the guy had no respect for him, and I'm sorry, you can't do it. So that's why he's bringing in Patriots guys, because they're the only ones that know him good enough to tolerate his garbage. I'm just saying, it's night and day. It's not the same.
Right.
It's not the same. The Dolphins made some other really good moves. Shaq Lawson from the Bills. They also picked up Emmanuel Ogbah from the Chiefs, and Byron Jones from the Cowboys. So their defense is looking pretty good. Oh, and they also got that guy from he was with Washington last year, Eric Flowers. So their defense looks really good now. Yeah. They've already added 2 pieces to the offensive line, which was their biggest problem last year. I think the team looks ready to go, man. I mean, they need a lot more. Like, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl next year, but if Brian Flores can win 5 games with that roster he had last year, is essentially an XFL team and a roll of duct tape, then I think I have no idea what he's going to do this year with some legitimate, really good players.
Well, I have no idea what my team's going to do.
Patriots. They lost Tom Brady. What else have they done in free agency?
They re-signed Matthew Slater, which I like.
I mean, he's already there. That's not really a free agency signing. He was already there. Have they brought in anybody from another team?
Yeah, they brought in a wide receiver.
Who?
Yeah, his name is Demir Bird.
What's that mean?
Demir Bird?
Yeah.
I don't know they signed him from what, the Bills, right?
I think so.
BYRD, Bird.
Yeah. They also signed a fullback, Danny Vitale.
Don't know who that is.
Don't know either. They franchise tagged Joe Tooney.
Okay, you're just reading from your phone now.
Yep.
Cheetah.
The thing is, they haven't made a lot of moves in free agency, so I have no idea what they're doing.
There's some other big free agency moves happening. Why don't we talk about those?
They did. LA released Clay Matthews and
Todd Gurley. That's the big one.
And then Todd Gurley signed with the Falcons.
Who has just released Devontae Freeman.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're either released him or they're going to release him.
Oh, man. I think the NFC South is going to be really interesting next year.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a garbage. It's the Saints and a bunch of garbage teams.
You got Tampa Bay is doing really well, and Carolina Panthers.
I don't know about really well. They're okay.
Carolina Panthers are going to be interesting next year.
Did you just say Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Tampa Bay.
Because they got Brady now, so he's got to be.
They do have Brady. Yeah,
he's got to be boosting him up.
NFC South's going to be real interesting because they got Tom Brady. Tom Brady.
I mean, the Falcons are still probably going to be garbage, but the rest of the teams are.
I don't like their coach. I think Dan Quinn's not a good coach. Yeah. I can't believe they kept him for another year, dude. They go to the Super Bowl, and then ever since that year they were in the Super Bowl, they've just.
Well, it's funny, the same guy who was the offensive play caller in that Super Bowl went to the 49ers. Right?
Mike Shanahan. They didn't lose that game because of offense. They lost that game because of very bad defense.
Yeah.
They got up 28-3. Okay, 28-3. If you get up 28-3 on the Patriots in the Super Bowl and you lose the game, it's not because of your offense. It's because of head coach and defense. That's why. Make one stop. Make one freaking stop in the second half.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, of course. Duh.
Sports.
Another free agent move that happened is Stephon Diggs got traded from the Vikings to the Bills.
A lot of people believe that's the straw that broke the camel's back for Brady, is that he was basically waiting for the Patriots to make a move for a Hopkins or a Stephon Diggs.
Right.
And when Stephon Diggs got traded to the Bills of all places, Brady's like, oh, the teams in this division are getting too good. Let me go find a division that sucks so I can pretend I'm still a good quarterback. And he goes to the NFC South because They're the only ones that wanted to sign him.
Chargers
Really funny when he
probably
goes
wanted
to
to
the
sign him
Dolphins.
too.
No, the Chargers weren't. I don't think that was a real thing, man. Maybe so, but he didn't want to have to move all the way that far over, I guess. Maybe he likes Tampa Bay.
He likes staying
Does that
in the
make
East.
sense, Nick? Does that make sense that Tom Brady likes Tampa Bay better than L.A.? That his supermodel wife prefers Tampa Bay to L.A.? Does that make sense? Does that sound right when
don't
you
know.
say it?
I don't
When
know.
you think about it?
I don't
This
live
is
in
all
Tampa
funny
Bay.
because Brady's going to the Dolphins.
I wouldn't.
Going to the Dolphins.
I wouldn't want to live in LA. I wouldn't
Stop
want to live in Tampa
saying
Bay.
that.
So there you go.
Why not? Give me a reason why for either place that you know nothing about. Literally nothing. You have 0 bits of information in your brain.
Both places are hot. I don't want to live in a hot climate. I live in Florida. I'm kind of done with a hot climate. I'd like to live in a colder
But you
climate.
live here.
Yeah, you live here
I know
already.
that.
Also, that's northern Florida, so it gets a little colder than
That's
here.
not
Not
northern
really.
Florida. It's still
Tampa?
Tampa's not north.
Norther than here.
Norther than it is norther than here. You're
right.
right about that. It is norther than where we are.
That's right. See?
Anyways, I don't think maybe the Chargers were legitimately
Going
in on him,
Miami.
but
He's going to the Dolphins anyway.
he thought he was going to have 31 options. He had 2.
Three,
Ultimately, no.
technically.
Oh, I guess the Raiders would have taken him as well.
Yeah.
Dolphins are taking him.
The Dolphins are not taking
Yeah,
him.
they are. They're going to trade for him
They're not going to trade for him. Why? Why would they do that?
because God loves me and he wants to see me smile. And that would be hilarious for both of you.
So I can watch Tom Brady get blown up in a Miami Dolphins uniform.
I just think it'd be
You know
funny.
what?
Because it would tick you off, and it would tick you off, and it would tick Pops off.
I'm sad that Tom Brady left the Patriots. I thought finally we're going to get to see him consistently get his butt handed to him by the Miami Dolphins. And you know what? That's not going to happen now.
He's going to be on the Dolphins.
He's not going to be on the Dolphins,
See how mad he's
Michael.
getting right now.
It's just because what you're saying is ridiculous. This is why I don't get on social media that much anymore. Because I see something ridiculous and I feel the need to correct it and say, no, that particular thought that just came out of your brain is so twistedly wrong, it blows my mind.
Dolphins.
Dang it, Michael.
He's going to speak it in existence.
Tom
the Dolphins are going to trade
Brady.
for him.
Miami.
The Dolphins
Not gonna happen.
are going to trade their number
Tom
one pick
Brady's
that they
going
have
to
early in the
Miami.
first round for Tom Brady.
That's ridiculous.
Tom Brady. Miami. He's going to Miami.
No, he's not. He already signed with the Bucks.
No, he didn't.
Now
He
he's going to
thinks he
trade.
signed
Now
with
they're
the
going to
Dolphins.
get traded.
He's going to go with the Dolphins. Tom Brady. He's going to be wearing aqua, whatever the thing is, teal and orange. There you go. Whatever their colors are.
I don't know either.
I tell you what, the Tom Brady in an orange jersey looks
Tom
stupid.
Brady's going to be a Dolphin.
Either way, what else is there, Nick? We got to do more than just talk about how stupid Tom Brady is.
Case Keenum signed with the Browns.
Tom Brady's not stupid. I'm sure he's a great guy. I don't know him, but I'm sick of hearing about him.
He's not going to be sick about hearing about him when he's on the Dolphins.
He's not a Dolphin. Case Keenum signed with the Browns as a backup to Baker Mayfield. It's a good move. Case Keenum's a good quarterback.
Yeah. He didn't do much in Washington, so.
He got injured.
Oh, he did.
He got
That
injured.
sucks. Man, all these quarterbacks are going down, man.
Yeah.
Alex Smith and then Case Keenum.
That's why a lot of places are having 2 now. Going with that Philadelphia model. You got a guy that can win you a Super Bowl waiting in the wings.
Yeah. Oh, Randall Cobb also got signed by the Texans.
Of course.
Super weird.
What?
Like you trade away like one of the best receivers in the NFL.
Might be the best receiver. in
Might
the
be.
NFL.
He's top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see you making an argument for a few other guys, Julio Jones. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Guys like that.
Of course.
But Randall Cobb gets like this ridiculous contract, like way overpaid him. I can't remember what the numbers are, but I mean, Randall Cobb is getting up there.
Yeah.
The Randall Cobb thing, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, if the reason you were trading DeAndre Hopkins is because you wanted a bunch of money, but then you bring in Randall Cobb, I'm sorry. One DeAndre Hopkins is worth 2 or 3 Randall Cobbs, dude.
At least, at the very
At least, I think if you look at the conversion chart, the exchange rate. I mean, one DeAndre Hopkins is. I haven't checked it today, but I think it's at least 2 or 3 Randall Cobbs.
Yeah. Saints also signed another receiver,
Yes, they did.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders got him away from the Niners.
Those two with you got Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders playing on the same team. That's going to be good.
And they should draft a dude too, man.
Yeah, probably.
If they draft a dude, that's going to be good.
And they re-signed Breeze, so
Yeah, Breeze re-signed for 2 years. He's got to show the world he's better than Brady.
Just gonna breeze on by.
Yeah.
They also-
Was it 2 years or 1 year? I think it was 2 years.
2 years, which is okay. Everyone's going to be Brady now. Everyone's got to be Brady.
Well, Breeze is still really good. I mean, he's still throwing.
Well, he's got Michael Thomas to throw too.
Yeah, he's got Michael Thomas, and now he's got Emmanuel Sanders, and I'm pretty sure they're going to draft somebody like CeeDee Lamb or something like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or LaVisca Chenault.
Yeah,
Wouldn't mind a Chenault.
good.
So,
The other guy.
what other guy?
The guy you drafted.
The guy I drafted. Elor Lumore?
Yeah, that one.
Elorm Lumore?
No, see, they want to draft good people.
I think Elorm Lumore is going to be taken
He's gonna
way
surprise
before
you.
the Saints draft. Are you cracking on Mr. Lumore?
Yes, I
What
am
is wrong
crapping
with
on
you?
Elon Lumore.
Watch him be the next.
Mr. Lumore, you have an open invitation to talk with us and be on Millerhood Sports at any moment. You let us know. We'll do a phone call.
Yeah.
We can do a live stream. We can do a Skype thing. We could meet you somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't listen to this hater right
Yeah,
here.
just don't listen to this guy. We're your biggest fans, either on more.
Crushing on Elorm Lumore.
Yeah.
Future New York Jet, probably.
No, but someone
Future Dolphin.
someone is going to Buffalo.
Bring him on. Let it happen.
Josh Norman is going to be in Buffalo.
Josh Norman signed with
Yes,
Buffalo.
he did.
Oh, Buffalo looks
Sounds
really
spicy.
good.
Yeah, they do.
We got Shaq Lawson away from them.
So, the AFC East is looking really good, except for, of course, the Jets and for
No, I mean,
first time in 20 years, Patriots.
The problem with the Jets is, first of all, they're the Jets.
But you like the Jets.
No,
They're
I
your
don't
favorite
like the
team.
Jets. Would you stop saying I like the Jets? I don't know why it bothers me so much, but it bothers me when you say I like the Jets.
He loves the Jets.
I hate the Jets. They're not even a real football team. Okay?
Then why do they play the other teams?
That's actually a really good point. The Jets are terrible. All right, the Jets are terrible. They're just terrible. I don't like the Jets. The Jets can go stuff it. Stupid Jets. And they have a terrible head coach. Absolutely horrible. Who's a worse head coach? Matt
Dolphins.
Patricia or Adam Gase?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, he's up there. What's next, Nick?
Calais Campbell is on the Ravens now.
Yeah, he got traded for a 5th round pick.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Boy,
What a
man.
good freaking deal. Make the Ravens that much better, dude. Calais Campbell is a really good defensive lineman from the Jags, right?
Yeah,
I assumed
I
he was a
don't.
good player.
I don't
He's
think the
really
Ravens
good.
need to be any better.
The Jags gave him up for a 5th round pick.
Oh my god.
You're going to draft anybody in the 5th round as good as Calais Campbell? It's
Maybe.
unlikely.
They're not
It's
gonna
maybe. Yeah, it's a
They're
maybe.
They're not going to get Elorn
Oh, Elon Moore, top 10,
first round.
first round.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
that's ridiculous.
5th round pick. Yep.
AJ Green got franchise tagged.
Oh yeah, the Bengals keeping AJ Green.
Yeah.
Sucks for him, dude. You imagine what like. It'd be great for him to go to Tampa or San
could not
Francisco, but they're
Go to New
franchising
England.
him, man. I think they're franchising him. I think they're gonna sign. They're gonna draft Joe Burrow. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, or buts about it, man. But we'll see. I don't know where Cam's gonna land, dude.
I don't know either, man. But Melvin Gordon is signed with the Broncos.
That is such a good move, man.
Yeah.
The Broncos are I think the Broncos are like a real dark horse team for next year, dude. Locke looks actually pretty good. Melvin Gordon being there solidifies their run game even more. Gives Philip Lindsay somebody to spell and stuff. And, I mean, their defense is already pretty good. So, I don't know, man. I think the Broncos are going to be pretty legit next year. What do you think, Mike?
Sports.
All right, right on, man. Right on. Sports.
Yeah.
The Colts got DeForest Buckner for a trade with the Bills, right?
That's a big deal, yeah, because the Colts have a relatively high draft pick, and they traded it for DeForest Buckner, which is a good move for everybody, because the Colts aren't going to draft a player as good as DeForest Buckner right there. Not a guarantee.
No.
You know, they're taking a shot in the dark, hoping it's somebody that good, all right? But, I mean, getting a guy that you know is as good as DeForest Buckner for that first-round pick is good. And then the 49ers... Okay, they get a first-round pick for a guy that they didn't have the money to pay anyways.
It wasn't the Bills, it was the 49ers.
Yeah, it's the 49ers. They get a first-round pick for... They were just in the Super Bowl. Now they have 2 picks in the first round. It was a really good move. What do you think, Mike?
Sports.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
The 49ers and the Bills, man.
Dude's name is DeForest.
Or the 49ers,
DeForest.
the 49ers and the Colts, like...
That is so good.
Everyone's got cool names.
It's just a good thing he was born. He was born outdoors and not born like in a mall somewhere. You know what I mean? Yeah. What do we name him? I don't know. How about the Chick-fil-A?
Yeah.
Let's name him the food court. Is this the food court Buckner? Yes. Why is your name the food court?
The Bills and the Colts, though, they screwed up everything.
The Bills and the Colts. Yeah, I mean, the Bills traded a first-round pick for Stephon Diggs. So the Vikings, pretty smart move on their part. Yeah. They're going to draft a receiver, obviously, in one of the biggest wide receiver drafts in a very long time. There are so many good receivers available coming out of college right now. And then the 49ers, they're strongest position group on their team is the defensive line. So they really didn't lose much by getting rid of DeForest Buckner. And what are they picking, like 13 now? 2 first-round picks. Even if they want to move up and get somebody, they got the juice to do it now because they got 2 pretty high picks.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's good.
This was cool. You know, actually, I have something to announce. We are going to have our post-free agency mock draft next week, so look out for that. This was Millerhood Sports, and hope to see you guys next week. You can like, share, and subscribe. Leave a review. We make a podcast as an audio form.
Sports.
Yes. So you can come listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts.
Sports.
So it's great. You have anything to add, Michael?
Sports.
Bye, guys.